So the patch we did end up getting on Forza Horizon 6 on Monday, honestly guys, really has a lot of players scratching their heads. And you know what? I think I'm also in the same boat because the decisions Playground seems to be making really does not actually match what players seem to be asking for. I mean, it did end up fixing several exploits, but once again though, a lot of the exploits are things that were pretty much fixed were not exactly what people were looking for. And I think people are like, okay, well, they're fixing this, they're ignoring these things. It honestly is a bit confusing, but there's a few things here I really did want to talk about because I do not understand the thought process behind it. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about here is probably one of the clearest ones a lot of people have been talking about, guys, and that is indeed the Subaru 22B. We all do know this car was mainly designed for, you probably guessed it, pretty much farming skill points. I mean, that was one of the best ways to do it, simply down to the fact that the car was cheap. It also had a super wheel spin in it, and you can go farm skill points to get it. Well, guys, looking at it right now, the car is now $313,000, basically making this car utterly useless to pretty much everyone besides this. Now, the reason why I find this kind of insane is a lot of people were farming this to get more super wheel spins, but now this is pretty much going to make super wheel spins a bit more annoying to get. And on top of that, though, farming skill points is also going to be a tad more difficult now because apparently you can't farm them in the estates anymore from what I did see. Do let me know, guys, a bit more information on that if I am missing something, but from what I saw on the actual Forza website, no, you can no longer do it. Now, the one thing I can say, though, is if you guys are looking to farm these skill points still, or at least you're looking to have a car that could do it, I would personally recommend the Lamborghini because it's probably going to be a way better option, specifically the Revolto. You will get 3 wheel spins from this for 340,000. So, to be honest, if you're looking to farm, that is probably the car that you're most likely going to want to take. Now, either way, though, when you do look at this, it kind of makes me ask the question of, well, why did they end up doing this? Or why was players even farming this in the first place that pretty much made them have to go, oh, we need to fix the Subaru because this car is giving people too many super wheel spins? Well, it should tell y'all something about the game design if players have to go farm super wheel spins in order to actually go get some of the cars they're looking for. So they have to go farm skill points and buy the Subaru because that was pretty much the only effective method unless you want to put insane amount of hours into racing, which I don't think people want to do that for peanuts. I will say, though, if you guys are looking for a secondary vehicle now, if you're looking to get skill points and, you know, go farm, if you really want to do that, the Lamborghini Revolto is probably the #1 option now, at least if you are looking to do it. And people might be like, well, oh, look, players now need to play the game or do other things. Well, the issue, though, guys, is the wheel spin exclusive cars are insanely rare. There are some players that have opened over 500 different wheel spins and still do not have the cars. And now farming those said wheel spins is going to be even more difficult, which guess what that's going to do? Make players go into the auction house and, oh boy, wait till I talk about that here in a second. But the other part is the festival playlist is once again recycling cars people already have from Series 1. And to be honest, if this is really the way they are doing this, and they're like, okay, we're now going to combat the entire issue of FOMO. If this is the way they are actually doing it, guys, I am genuinely concerned because there are literally hundreds and hundreds of cars from Forza Horizon 5 they could easily put in there. The only thing I can think about is maybe they're trying to almost extend it away because this game probably is going to be out for years. So they're trying to go, okay, this will combat FOMO by putting a few of the cars every single month back in there, which is also going to make players probably play less of the playlist because why would you want to get 40 points if there's literally no reason to go after that car? I mean, yes, we have the Mazda, but soon enough, that's also not going to matter. So, yeah, I really do not understand the entire concept of let's recycle cars now with the game being out for 2 months. Don't y'all want players to get on the game and, you know, play the game and enjoy it? But that's pretty much just pushing people away. And I'm guaranteeing it's probably just going to drop the player base even more because this game has definitely been dropping off. And I can definitely see it happening even worse. Now, the other part I wanted to talk about, though, guys, is the auction house is basically going to be even more cooked now. For some weird reason, they decided to remove the cap in the auction house for cars that were not in the auto show. So if you did head over to the auction house now, you will probably see some insane stuff, guys. And I'll give you a quick little example here. So if you head in, you will now see the Ford F450 FE here. If I hit confirm, yeah, so every truck is basically 20 million. Now people are putting them lower so they can actually sell them, but yeah, look how many of these are in here now. Everything is 20 million, bro. And to be honest, it won't end with this car either. If I head back into here and I go over, you know what, let's go check out the GTR one, the FE car that everybody really wanted before. Nissan here, let's go over to this GTR FE, guys. Here we go, here we go. This is probably going to be funny. And there it is. Everything is once again $20 million. For some weird reason, they decided to do this and people are like, "Oh, I can go make some quick money now." Funny part is, pretty much none of these cars are gonna sell for $20 million, bro. Like, people don't even want this stuff. This guy's got his up for 7, starting bid at 6, and people still don't want it, man. I really don't know what they were thinking with this because they were a while ago they were saying they don't want to ruin the entire economy with the auction house having expensive cars, right? Well, I think we kind of passed that moment already. I remember a lot of players making a ton of money back in Forza Horizon 5, and well, guys, it looks like nowadays in this game, people are going to be really trying to make more money from a lot of these cars. But to be honest, I just don't understand the thought process behind that because people were already having issues trying to get money in different things in this game. Well, at least, you know, try to make a little bit more. Now that the entire skill point thing is gone with the car, you will end up getting less money now because you won't get nearly as many wheel spins. And now the wheel spin exclusive cars are 20 million credits. You can go bid some people on them, but now a lot of people are trying to make money on them. And to be real, this is just going to make the economy in the game even worse. And I also want to say this. I feel so bad for the PS5 players if this game even launches on PS5 at this point. But if it's even this year, I'm kind of wondering about that now. I could definitely see PS5 getting completely screwed over by this even more. Simply because when they jump onto the game, there will be no AFK grinding, which I understand that's kind of an exploit. But here's the thing. They did put the AFK thing into the game. And you guys cannot tell me right now that they did not know about that glitch, okay? There's no way they did not realize you can play the game like that or put in an auto drive and make millions of dollars by letting the game play in auto drive. There is just simply no way they did not know about the AFK thing. Like, I really do believe that. You guys are telling me that they launched the game not even realizing you could do that exploit. Like, there is just simply no way, bro. I don't believe that personally. Then we also have the skill point farming thing in the estate is now gone, so players will end up having to get less skill points. Then they'll have to go spend money that's going to be harder for them to get because, yes, you could go do some races, but let's be real, the races pay basically nothing, so you will be farming a lot for basically little. And I think a lot of players might end up getting a bit tired of this, man. I don't understand the entire thought process behind this, especially making the auction house basically insanely annoying now, where a lot of cars are just $20 million everywhere if they weren't in the auto show. And new players are pretty much going to be completely screwed over in being able to get those cars now, and it might end up pushing them away because the economy in this game is going to be 100 times worse now. And let's be honest here, guys, people do not want to deal with that. I do not understand what they are thinking with this. It really makes me wonder, for real. But the other part of this, though, as I mentioned for the festival playlist, is a lot of players were fatigued and annoyed in Series 2, and that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why people get on these games, right? Any racing game with a live service thing. Same with the Summit and Motorfest, even Gran Turismo 7 and stuff. You guys probably saw the weekly live service video I did. If you did not, though, I will leave a tag on the screen for that, because I do feel like it really brings up a big point, though, because if you're looking to have a big reason to log in, the festival playlist is probably one of them, but now we're having more reused car rewards, a lot of rewards that players won't care about, and that is going to mean less excitement for people getting on the game on Thursdays. I mean, anybody else seeing that too? It's kind of going to happen. And speaking of that, though, it really does kind of make you think that maybe the way they are taking the feedback and all that and everything, it just doesn't seem like they're really focusing on the correct things, because all they're trying to do is get rid of every single exploit, if you want to call some of them that, because people did make some of this stuff, again, in the entire AFK thing. Or if we look at something like the estate, people did end up making this stuff, and I have to put that argument up again that there is no way they did not know about these things. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we're just doing stuff in the game because every other method is not great. They should be improving the progression and making things actually better. But instead, guys, I think they're pretty much going one or two steps forward, then basically going three or four backwards, which seems to be a trend in a lot of modern racing games or even games in general. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, well, Blocked, what would be your solution to this? How would you fix it? Well, to be honest, guys, with the entire wheel spin thing, they really should have other methods to get wheel spins besides having a skill point farm and then go buy a Subaru 22B 351 times in order to get an exclusive car that is locked behind an RNG based wheel spin. There should be other ways to get these, if I'm being honest. I mean, you should be able to have weekly seasonal objectives every single week on top of the entire festival playlist that will get you more wheel spins and super wheel spins. And guess what that will also do? Having more challenge-based things for wheel spins, it will give players a reason to log on even more than some reused cars from Series 1 that most people already have. And oh, guess what? Some of those cars that people get a second time, they will just sell those for 20 million because guess what? The cap is gone now, but remember, we do not want to mess the economy up in the game or ruin it for players. Yeah, I'm not seeing that now. I really don't understand how that's not a thing, though. Like, if you really do want to base the game around and have different progression standpoints behind wheel spins, why not give players more ways to get wheel spins? Because now it's going to be even harder to get them, making the other cars harder to get because you can't even get the wheel spins to get them. Or on top of that, you won't be able to make enough money to buy the cars either now because you're not getting as many wheel spins, which can give you a boost. And man, this entire thing is going to be cooked. Now, could you go in and maybe try to buy and flip cars? I mean, maybe, but now it's going to be insanely difficult because the entire auction house is covered in $20 million cars that most people don't even want to spend that much money on. So they're just going to sit in there. It really does not make any sense, man. They could easily put the wheel spin exclusive cars in other areas, which they are doing that now from what I did see. Apparently the Sesto Elemento, I think the 599 XX Evolution, whatever it is now going to be in like that storefront thing by the stadium. That's honestly very cool, but here's the thing. That should have been a thing a long time ago, but also, what about the playlist exclusive cars that people are still like, dang, I'm going to miss this car now? Is there really no other way to fix that, bro? What happened to we're going to take care of FOMO this time or we're going to change it? Because at the moment, I'm not seeing it. Overall, though, I have to say, I really do not understand the way these developers are actually doing some things in these games because they could clearly see what people are asking for and also what players weren't the biggest fan of. And it seems like they jump in and do some of those changes that players didn't want, but also things that will 100% hurt the game in the future, add things to it that players did not want. And you're not going to invite new players to the game, especially when you go into something like the auction house and see all kinds of cars for 20 million because you can't get them from a wheel spin. That is not going to keep a new player on the game, man. In fact, that will probably push them away even more because players don't want to deal with that stuff. And that's the biggest thing. People are not asking for everything to be free in the game, but instead, they're asking for actual progression that feels rewarding instead of, okay, well, you want cars, you have to progress to get a wheel spin that you hope you can get the car that you want from. And if not, bro, head into the auction house and spend $10 million on a car you could probably get in a wheel spin that you might get in 100 wheel spins or 900 wheel spins. To be real, the entire design of this really just does not make any sense. I honestly, guys, I do not understand any of the thought process going behind this stuff. I really do feel like they're trying to push players away or they're trying to hurt it. And in the end, I only see this making players probably stop playing even more. And any newer players are 100% just not going to deal with this. Do let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. To be real, it was not on my bingo card for 2026 to have Forza Horizon 6 absolutely destroying its own self, man. I was not expecting this, that's for sure.